Boastful, arrogant, loud, fat, drunk. Americans have heard it all. But is there any truth in these stereotypes? In this video, I will tell you the top 9 stereotypes about Americans that they hate. 1. Americans are loud and obnoxious. Americans are accustomed to this stereotype, a long-standing one of which many are reluctant to let go. This is partly due to the majority of young American students backpacking or studying abroad who have helped to perpetuate the reputation. Just about everyone has been that too drunk, too loud traveler at least once. But when it comes to day-to-day conversations, Americans aren't a particularly loud group of people. 2. Everyone is racist. It's easy to assume that all Americans are racist, especially taking into account the recent election and uprising of white nationalist groups post-election. But since the 1980s, interracial marriage rates have increased, with 87% of men and 85% of women approving of marriage between Caucasians and African Americans. That means every 4 in 5 people agree with interracial marriage today, a wild improvement since the 1960s. 3. Americans only care about themselves. The world is full of selfish people. But when it comes to helping others, Americans are usually one of the first to come to the rescue, especially during a natural disaster, when other countries are in need. In 2015, the U.S. was the largest donor of foreign aid, spending $31 billion. 4. Americans are stupid, uneducated people. While there's a misconceived notion that all Americans are unintelligent, the stats show otherwise. In 2022, 88% of adults had at least a high school diploma, while nearly 33% held a bachelor's or higher degree. There's also been an increase in the number of post-secondary degrees in the past few decades. Certificates have increased by 49%, associate's degrees by 59%, bachelor's degrees by 36%, master's degrees by 45%, and doctorate degrees by 44%. Also, 83% of 18 to 29-year-olds, 78% of ages 30, 49, 81% of ages 50, 64, and 80% of people over 65 years of age read for pleasure. 5. Americans don't respect nature. According to the WDPA, the U.S. currently has 34,070 protected areas, covering a total of more than 1.8 million square miles of land and sea. That's 13% of the land area and 41.1% of the total marine area in the U.S. And in the last year, President Biden has established the largest protected place on the planet, at a whopping 582,578 square miles, alongside the first marine national monument in the Atlantic Ocean. 6. Every American owns a gun. An increase in violence this year has helped to bolster misguided perceptions on this facet of America. But according to a recent survey, only 36% of adults own a firearm or live with someone who does, which brings the gun rate to a near 40-year low. It's down 10 percentage points since its peak in 1993 and 20 points since 1978. That's the lowest rate of gun ownership since the mid-1970 SS. 7. Americans are rude. This stereotype has likely stemmed from open-mouth laughing or public nose-blowing, the product of culturally unaware American travelers. But while these actions seem rude to foreigners, aim be. 8. Americans are all obese, overweight, and obsessed with fast food. While it's true that obesity and weight gain is a major issue in the States, 2 out of 3 adults are considered overweight or obese. The U.S. has made several efforts to battle this growing epidemic. Schools are cutting calories, improving nutritional content, and reducing portion sizes, providing healthier choices to kids. Employers receive a return on investment in healthcare savings when they promote wellness, and 4 states have passed laws requiring restaurants to include calorie counts on menus. Plus, in cities along the coast, Los Angeles, New York, Miami, clean eating and exercise have become a way of life. 9. Americans don't travel. Oh, the great American passport myth. A rumor once circulated that only 10% of the American population holds a valid passport. This led to a widespread idea that Americans don't travel and that they're an ignorant nation with no knowledge of the outside world. But according to the State Department, 46% of the 324 million large population has a valid passport. And in 2022, 18.5 million new passports were issued. That's over 3 million more than last year, an increase of 21%. Let's also keep in mind that the states are bound by a wealth of geological diversity, so many Americans simply opt to travel within their own borders. And what do you think about Americans? Write in the comments. That's all. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and watch past videos. See you soon!